Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another I AM Masterclass. I'm Lillian Ogbogoh, and tonight we have Dean Okai on, and we are talking to him about his activism, his businesses, and being a co-homeschooler of his son, Dean Okai Jr. You have been a business owner, you are a community activist and a business advocate. You've been doing this for over 26 years.
No, I've been a business owner for 26 years. I've been an activist for a couple of weeks.
Okay, so what led you to be the man that chose to step up and say, I want to do something that matters, I want to be counted, and I'm going to champion for my community?
Well, I've always been politically minded. I was in Panther. I joined Panther, I suppose, if it's 25 years now since Stephen Lawrence was killed. I joined Panther UK because Stephen Lawrence was killed.
Right. So
I joined Panther UK in Landor Road, May 7, 1993. It was a Stephen Lawrence march in Welling, May 8, 1993, where the police gave me a small education with a truncheon, which is why I have the fly brows. And that was a baptism of fire for me.
So you created various businesses over the years from, and when you look at all your business, what would you say is the common thread between all of these businesses for you?
There's not. There are opportunities. The thing that is the common thread is that somebody needed something that I could provide, so I provided it. And I find many things interesting. So where there's a need, you answer it and provide a service or a product, and then it's a business, if you can make money from it. If I was about to be evicted from my business and there was rubbish across the road from me, I would go and ask how much they'd pay me to collect it so I could pay the rent for my business and stay in my building. That gap, those opportunities, that's what business is. And sometimes, because of the way that we're wired, if we're wired to serve, then we don't necessarily see the opportunities.
Right.
But if you're wired to lead, you always see the opportunities.
So you've recently created the Road CEO as a platform to provide business acumen and social skills to educate and empower young black men.
Yes.
What was the catalyst for its inception?
I was that young man. A friend and colleague of mine was going to meet with the police around the knife crimes, and I was in the shower and the creator sent it to me. That was it. First I put it on paper, then I transcribe it, and then it's real, and then I'm selling it. And then we had a round table debate, so that we make the public stakeholders. Then we go to the institutions and we start to make them stakeholders before they've paid us a penny. Then we put a team together. The team are transferring ideas so that it is an MVQ. It's a 6-week turnaround course to grab young men, to give them identity, self-esteem, all of that stuff they don't have, wherever they think they are. It's a multifaceted project. So part of it is very similar to the old Open University, where you've got a video resource with hundreds of hours of successful black men giving you compartmentalized business acumen. So it could be talking about structuring deals, negotiating, building a team, management, writing the business plan, marketing, how to create for a young man AAA credit, sitting down with a bank manager, teaching you how to use a credit card just to pay your food. Your could be as nominal as £26, but you're building it up. So you've got everything. That video resource, you can watch. Repetition is a beast for sinking into your subconscious mind. When
we look at the mission of the Solution Room, because we're going to talk about the Solution Room a bit more, what is your ultimate idea and mission for this?
Okay, for me, it bores me when people are talking about racism, because we talked about racism for 100 years. You talk about being fired, not paid enough money, being in substandard education, living in substandard buildings. So for the Solution Room, if we have our own institutions, which is what I desire to be born out of that, by going and collecting and recruiting the greatest expertise from our community, because we go through every single area of business, from education, law, we go all the way through the civil service.
Right.
Now, when we have all of that expertise, why are we asking anybody for anything? Legislation provides us the right as business owners to donate to any charity. So why wouldn't we donate to one charitable trust to purchase commercial freeholds like this building to convert into schools, chambers of commerce and community centres? Then those 3 in every single borough are our organisational base. Every single one of the 33 boroughs has a borough strategy. That's between the police, the school, the health system, social services, the fire brigade and the local authority. They hold meetings about us that we're not involved in and we're not empowered by, that we pay for via our taxation.
Right.
The greatest way to punish any system is to withdraw our taxation. Now, if you're PAYE, you can't do that. I can't help you with that. Now, if you're self-employed or a business owner, you can do everything about that, because tax for reparations. Why are we marching and begging when we have the power to determine that for ourselves?
Wouldn't you say that if we are looking to create a whole section in terms of where it sounds like we are separating from society, is that also playing the reverse of what we are saying is happening?
Please God. You mean the reverse of substandard education, substandard housing, relying on people to employ you who don't want to employ you, who hire you last and fire you first and pay you less? Please God.
You're also the director and CEO of something called I AM Money.
Yes.
What is I AM Money and what's the bigger picture with it?
Well, I AM Money is a Pan-African banking platform, which is digital in nature. The fintech, look, the business playing field has been democratized by the digital revolution. I don't need to hire a marketing company if I have the intellectual capital and I can create marketing materials myself. So that's what I do. I'll suffer sleep deprivation and stay up all night, and in the morning it's viral. Why do people know about me? Because I took enough time to invest in myself, to learn those things. So with the banking platform now, the fintech industry has democratized the playing field. I don't need a banking license because it's not a bank. So we can't loan 10 times what we have in reserve. We can only use the money that we have. But what it does is there's no geo borders anymore around it. So now this is international African banking. Wherever we are, again, we are the most marginalized, underappreciated. So when we want loans, it's a problem. It's very hard for us to get loans. It's very hard for us to get premium banking services.
Right.
What if there was a banking platform that said Africans globally are not only the most desired customer, there's a premium business service for all CEOs globally. So as you have I AM Money and you have I AM CEO, an entire web platform that is just for CEOs that democratizes you. It doesn't matter how big you are, how small you are. You could be in sub-Saharan Africa, but you're a chief executive. Maybe you're a sub-Saharan farmer that has something of value, and somebody over here's got the intellectual capital to monetize that hugely and close the gaps in trade. What doesn't Africa have?
So what advice would you give an entrepreneur who says, I want to go down your route, I want to follow your footsteps?
Don't wait until tomorrow. Start a business on Monday morning. Learn, fail on your way to succeeding, because there's no substitute for experience. So for me, my platinum has come about of being concerned for a lack of experience. You see, stress is for young people and inexperienced people. This is the one thing. If you don't learn how to deal with stress, business isn't for you. What I do, no matter how badly a week may go, I'm not going to take that home and transfer that to my woman or my seed, because it makes no sense. So I have a drink with my brothers, I exhale, I don't really care, tomorrow's another day. You will not understand that having been taught to serve, where you get paid, right, pay the bills. Bills get paid last, because I don't make money from bills. I make money from stock. I make money from investing in business that is going to pay me. Everything else is secondary. It's costing me money. I give you a clue. I would sound like a bad guy. I'm just being very honest. This is business. Someone is bringing stock. Somebody else needs to get paid. You're gonna buy the stock, because you make profit from stock, which guarantees you're gonna be able to pay them.
Right.
If you don't have this, there's no guarantee that you're gonna get the money to deal with everything else, and that other stuff is still gonna be a liability. This makes you fresh and brand new.
Okay.
So you prioritize in a different way when you understand business. However, some people would read into that you knock people. I tell you one thing you don't do in business, don't do that, because your business will last 30 seconds. People doing business understand. Pay me something, pay me the rest, don't leave it too long, don't take the mickey. This is business, but there's no substitute for experience.
There isn't, and you said something very important, which a lot of people are failing to understand. You have to fail.
Regularly, in different ways, because without that failure, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You're not going to appreciate when you've actually got something that's real, and you'll go and do it again. So I had the biggest of small failures so that I would not duplicate those again.
How do you personally recover from your setbacks?
Because I know by my experience they're not setbacks, it's training. So last year I said I wanted to create a talk show called The Conversation Room.
Okay.
So it was Friday night. I said I'm going to do it next Thursday, and I'm going to do it in the West Indian restaurant across the road.
Okay.
And I'm going to invite people, and I'm just going to put it on Eventbrite and see how it goes. And I did it. So that's high pressure. You see, because if I said I'm going to do it in 2 months, and I'm going to tweak it, and when it's perfect, no, it's not perfect yet, so I'm going to put it off. I'm going to, no, high pressure, failure. So I spent money. I did not make any money. I gave the people drinks. It was a restaurant. I'd invited some people. The people that came, it wasn't as packed as I would like it to be, so I paid for their food. And I failed on the way to succeeding. Right. And I said, I'm doing it next week. And there were more people. I said, I'm doing it next week. And there were more people. Business is stress for the inexperienced, sorry. So once you understand the nature of pressure, again, have a drink, let go over your head. Nobody's gonna die. I'm not gonna go bankrupt. My lifestyle isn't gonna change. I don't care. See, it seems nonchalant. I don't care. I spend a little bit of money that I'm gonna make back tomorrow or the day after. Worst way, if it's really crazy, the week after.
Right.
But the lessons I learned were invaluable.
All right, so we're gonna come to the area where, for me, is quite important. You homeschool your son.
Yeah.
Why did you take this decision?
He might not like me telling you this, but the reason I say it is for other people's children who are being bullied and depressed. So when my son was 7 years old, he started to come home. He loved school, and then he started to come home upset. He'd had a change of teacher, and then he didn't want to go to school. He's sick, he's got a headache. He's making it up. He didn't want to go to school. I knew that. And then he told me something happened, and he would just cry, and he said, "Dad, I can't tell you what it is." And I said, "You tell me, because you don't keep secrets from me, I don't keep secrets from you." And he said he wanted to kill himself. Now, he was 7 years old. Now, I cried when he said that. So that's why my son is homeschooled. But I have no desire to homeschool my son, and I must admit that 90% of the homeschooling pleasure or burden is on his mum.
Right.
Because I do what I do. And this is why I desire for us to have the choice of our own schools. Because the most important thing you can have in life are options.
Exactly.
And we don't have options. We rely on people who tolerate us. So when they no longer tolerate us, then we're at their mercy.
Right.
I'm not at anybody's mercy. I'm a tricky guy. And I think that tricky thinking will benefit most of us. Okay. But we're even scared to say it. But wouldn't, you said it earlier, wouldn't that make us separate? Yeah, it's okay.
When we are talking about the I Am Masterclass, one of the things we know is I am is not just a statement, it's a personal declaration.
Absolutely.
And whatever you put after it is very important. So it's almost like it's a statement of truth.
Absolutely.
What is your truth? What is your I am truth?
All of the things I am. I am a brother. I am a father. I'm a businessman. I love my community. I wouldn't try and term what that makes me. But what I am is obligated to play out my intellectual capital into the tangible realm.
My name is Nicola, and I'm the facilitator, for want of a better word, behind the idea and concept. So the I AM Masterclass is basically a platform for businesses and people like Dean, who A, either don't want to go mainstream, or B, actually are not being discovered and appreciated by the mainstream. And I really don't care to have to wait for those platforms to grow and be famous, and to talk about the people that are doing it now and can inspire people now as the grind is real out there. We've got online now, so we can put it out there, and it will be picked up when it's right by the right people. But for now, I refuse to allow voices like Dean's to go unappreciated, to go undiscovered, and not to save one child's life or one person or inspire one business person, because it always takes that little nugget that can help something to blossom. I'd like to show my appreciation, of course, to my host Lillian, NSC Media. I work with East London Radio as well, so they also support, so I'm really appreciative of that, and all the people that come to the event. So thank you very much.
Thank you.